So yeah, we're about to do the worst of 2024 so far. Me, Nick, and Hunter here. So what we did
It's like,
here.
yeah, up until like 2 weeks ago, my worst of list was longer than my best of list.
Yes, I
Ye-
did see
Yeah.
some more movies. So more things did get added to my best of, which was good there.
Oh, God.
Seeing things like Love Lies and Bleeding and
Mhm.
seeing things like Long
Mm.
Legs. Very nice.
Yeah.
But all right. So I have your guys' list up. I got my list up here. Who wants to go first?
I'm gonna talk for a while, so y'all might want to go first.
Okay. All right. How you want to do this? You want to just run through the
Yep.
list? All right.
See what? Yeah. So you can run through your list here for worst of. I have it right here. Your
Okay.
list. Yeah, and we just talk. We go back and forth here. So once you say one, then I'll pass it to Hunter. Then it go to me, or I pass it to me, and then I'll go to Hunter here, and then we'll do it like that. Okay.
Okay, I only got 8 movies on my list. Because of work and duty. I haven't been able to see a lot of them. But number 8 on my worst of is the Garfield movie. It just hits everything I hate about children's animation. It just feels lazy. It feels like a half-baked script that is just relying on names on the poster in order to get people to see it. It's an insult to children's cinema. Number 7 on mine is with Garfield. It's lazy. The voice cast is like so many big stars, but you can never tell. It's like Nicholas Hoult plays John in that movie, and you can't
What?
fucking tell at all.
Really?
Yes, I'm not bullshitting.
That's weird.
Because the entire time it sounds like Charlie Day.
That's really awkward. Okay.
All right. Number 7 on my list is Tarot. It was like for as many great horror films we got the last couple of years.
Oh yeah.
Eventually, it was like that monkey's paw. It was like, okay, we're gonna have a couple of years where we're getting horror banger after banger, and the bill comes due with some bullshit.
Can only last so long, man.
Yeah, it's lame. It's just early 2000s teen PG-13 horror to a T. It just feels like it's so safe and it's fucking stupid. It's like it's the epitome of white people shit.
Is this worse than The Unborn?
It has been a while since I've seen The Unborn.
Because The Unborn's really fucking bad. Like that's really bad.
And the biggest insult is you have, I think, a solid cast of teen actors in this. You had Avantika, who was in the Mean Girls remake, who I thought she was probably one of the best actors in that. You got Jacob Batalon, who I'm a big fan of, and they're just completely wasted. All right, number 6 on my worst of is the Blumhouse twofer of bullshit with Imaginary.
Oh yeah, you do.
This was yeah. I can't with this movie. It's like this is another Blumhouse horror film directed by Jeff Wadlow, who brought us such classics like freaking Fantasy Island.
And
that's Dare.
Right. He did Fantasy. Yeah.
It's like this motherfucker needs to be stopped.
Fantasy Island is really shit.
It's awful. It's just lame to the point of what can I say about bad horror movies? It's like ridiculous in concept. It's just dull. You have an actress like who's the lead in this? This was
Wise.
DeWanda Wise, who is a ridiculously talented actress, but she is given nothing to do here. It was just All right, number 5 is a movie that is a reimagining of a movie I love with The Strangers Chapter 1. It's like,
oh, yeah,
I
didn't like that.
Madeline Patch, I want to root for you because I felt like you were the one great actor on Riverdale, or at least the one actor whose character knew the assignment. And you do bullshit like this, and I want to root for you, but you keep doing this.
I
Is
really
she the
hate
one
when
that?
people-
Oh, I was gonna say, is she the one that turned into the Scarlet Witch or something?
Yes.
Yeah, she
Okay.
is. Yeah,
Okay.
that Riverdale gets so insane. Like, weirdly, I can never say you should watch Riverdale, but if you want to watch, like, if you like Love Island, like if you're in that like kind of like trashy TV show,
it hits that perfect
yeah,
spot of
it
trash
does.
TV.
Because yeah, she straight up becomes a Scarlet Witch, and the show just goes fuck you, like fine too.
Yeah, and it's
like,
like
let's just get out of the way. She's fine
this
as hell,
movie.
but
This movie is basically just what if we did The Strangers but worse in every possible way.
yeah, it's quite bad from what
Yeah.
I've heard.
All right. Number 4 is kind of fitting because it's Despicable Me 4. Like I this one hurt because I liked the original Despicable Me, and I really like Despicable Me too, and I like both Minions movies. But this, if the third movie felt like it was spinning its wheels with trying to find plots for the characters to do, this one is a goddamn super villain. It's like it's lazy, the animation is fine, the entire voice cast, it feels like let's just be loud and annoying. It's like ugh. It's like Will Ferrell doing one of the worst accents nonstop. I only got one genuine laugh in this movie, and it's a scene that was done way better in The Incredibles. It was like, what if we gave the minions superpowers and all the collateral damage that comes with it? That was the only scene I actually got a laugh in.
And why do they get powers again? What are they doing?
To sell more toys.
Because the anti-Venom League is like, hey, the supervillain's on the loose. Gru may not be enough to stop him, so let's give the minions powers, even though they're fucking buffoons.
they're the minions.
All right. What else you got?
Number 3 was a movie that broke my brain, and a movie that is from a director that I had a lot of respect for until I saw this movie, and that is fucking Argyle.
Ooh.
Like this movie, it is like it's kind of goes back to the same thing you were saying about Alien Covenant, and even though I don't agree on that film, it has so many ideas, but it doesn't take any time to flesh out any of it.
Yeah.
It's like this movie is just like we had to have a twist every 5 minutes in this movie, and it's like, okay, motherfucker, god damn it. God damn it. It was like a spy story should not be this fucking complicated.
Yeah.
And then what
agreed.
was the
It's
rumor
hard to
that
follow. It's loud. It's like horribly shot. It looks like it was filmed nonstop on the volume. Even the stuff that Matthew Vaughn was good at directing with his action, it looks awful here.
wasn't there a rumor that this was like Taylor Swift or something, like she wrote it, or she wrote it like
Yeah,
based
it
on-
was like a Taylor Swift ghost written bio novel or something. I don't know.
God.
Who gives a shit?
Really? Oh Jesus. That
that was like a rumor. I don't know if that was true.
Yeah, it
God.
Argyle's a
that
movie.
is-
Argyle's a movie so bad. I had to rewatch a couple of the Matthew Vaughn movies I liked, like X-Men First Class, like Kick-Ass, like the first Kingsman. It was like, oh my god, did I really like these movies as much as I do?
Oof. Yeah,
Like-
that's rough.
Ugh. All right. Number 2 is coming from my Tyler Perry with Zack Snyder. It's like Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. It's like this movie, I straight up gave up during the review of this movie when we did it on the channel. I was angry at this movie because I barely remembered anything that happened in part 1 besides just them gathering the whole team together. In this movie, this is near 3 hours long, and an hour and a half of it is just the freaking 7 samurai sitting around the table going into each other's backstories, but they're all the same fucking backstory.
Basically, yeah.
You got Ed Skrein, who is like given the impossible challenge of playing a villain with any kind of personality.
Whoa, that's the transporter you're talking about.
I only recognize one transporter, and that's Jason Statham.
What, you don't like the transporter refueled? Come on. I'm sorry. Sorry, continue.
Ah! So it's like actors who I know are great and have talent are given nothing, and this is that George Lucas syndrome where you have talented people and you're making them look worse with your dog shit script. It's like, fuck you, Zack Snyder. And I didn't want to. I try not to get as angry on this, but whenever I think about this and the next movie on my list, I got that little Kendrick Lamar on my shoulder. It's like, hate. Let the hate flow through you.
Fair.
Which brings me to my number 1 worst of 2024. I have never been as angry.
I knew it. I was waiting.
Frustrated, as just disappointed, even with lowered expectations, by fucking Night Swim.
I'm so excited to watch Night Swim because of how much Nick hates it. Like, I don't know. It might be December,
This
but
is
I'm
my
so
goddamn
excited.
Snake Eyes. I hate this movie so fucking much.
Nick has probably brought up Night Swim daily, and it's been like my favorite thing because, like, if you could just feel Nick's
I
hatred.
hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you jump scare. I hate the way that you set it up. I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, it doesn't look great, and I've talked to actually a couple friends who are like big horror buffs too, and you feel the shudder when Night Swim is brought up. So so I don't know when I'm gonna get around this. It'll probably be December, but yeah.
This movie, it marked the beginning of the end for, if not great, I would say at least good run of Blumhouse, because with Blumhouse, you get films like The Black Phone, like Gordon Green's Halloween, like did I mention Sinister? Yeah, no. Sinister, no. Megan, which came out last year, and that was a point where you either get them actually trying to make art and make great horror movies, and this is just fucking content mill shit.
I forgot when this came. It came out in January, I think.
This was a January dump release.
Which, yeah, it's not like the stereotypical like bad shit comes out in January or February, but it feels like the bad shit that does come out, it's like almost extra bad now. So, yeah.
So that was Nick's worst of 2024 so far. I got pretty much a lot of overlap with Nick, so I'm only going to be talking briefly about these movies. So far I have, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 12 so far. 12 words.
Oh, damn.
Let's go.
All right. So yeah, like I said, a lot of crossover, a lot of the same overlap here. So first one's going to be The Strangers, Chapter 1.
Okay.
So a lot of for the same reasons, stupid people doing stupid things. Really generic.
Yeah, and I kind of hate the criticism of horror movies, especially in slashers, of stupid people doing stupid things. Because in a situation like that, adrenaline starts flowing. You don't think straight, and a lot of people have a very overestimated opinion about how well they do in a survival situation.
That's fair.
There is no fucking excuse in The Strangers Chapter 1.
Damn.
And also, I mean, I never was really that into the first. Mm-hmm. Oh, damn, Nick, your camera.
Oh, what the fuck?
Jesus.
I need to replace
Spider-Verse. Your cat just went Spider-Verse there. You just version. But Yeah, I mean, I never really cared about the first Stranger movie that came
Mhm.
out in '08. I never was really that big of a fan of it. Never really was that into it anyway. I did see also the other one with Christina Hendricks, but I thought that one
Mhm.
also wasn't very
I like
good.
that movie a lot.
I thought that was also stupid, them doing dumb things in that as well. And this one is also just pretty basic and lame. And then this is also supposed to be set up a trilogy of movies, all supposed to be released this year. I think so. There's supposed to be two other
Oh
Stranger movies
shit!
coming
Yeah,
out.
a
Ooh.
trilogy that is already shot, already in the can, and they were pretty much going to do what 20th Century was going to do with Fear Street a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Uh,
Well, hey Nick, you got something to look forward to.
so it's supposed to be two more of these, yeah, coming out.
See, this is why I drink and I am medicated.
Damn.
So yeah. So my other movie here that's on my list, my number 11 one is the one that me and Hunter reviewed. It is
Oh god.
Unfrosted, the Jerry Seinfeld directed
Oh,
film.
it's way too low. Way too low.
Uh, so this is trying to spoof a lot of the corporate product movies that we have now, like Tetris, like BlackBerry, like
Yeah, but
the
you know the
Cheeto movie.
the difference is, at least with BlackBerry and Tetris, is those movies are good.
Yeah,
With some
they're
great
good.
performances. Yeah.
And actually, it's funnier than this. So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It does humor even with the drama mixed in. And this is Jerry Steinfeld. This is his directorial debut after being in Hollywood for many decades, probably over what 3 decades.
Coasting off of the Seinfeld fame for like the better part of 20 years.
Oh wow, Nick, it's like you watched the review. It's like you're saying everything I'm saying.
And
It's like I watched the comedy special he did on Netflix, and that was just old man yells at cloud and complains
Yep.
about
how long
PC
ago
and
was that? That he
culture.
did comedy?
That was
2
that was
years ago.
2020, I think.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And look at the cast, star-studded cast. You got people like I just saw him. He was JFK.
Bill
Bill
Burr,
Burr, and you got
yeah.
Melissa McCarthy. You have
James
Amy Schumer.
Marsden, Amy
James
Schumer, Max Greenfield, Cedric the Entertainer.
They got
Jim
John
Gaffigan.
Hamm to play.
Yeah,
They got John Hamm to play Don Draper in this.
that
Yeah.
was yeah.
Tony
that was
Hale,
sad.
Fred Armisen's in this.
I-
Hugh Grant.
I want
Hugh
to
Grant.
break this fucking bottle over Jerry Seinfeld's head off of this movie.
I will say the only person that comes out mildly good is Hugh Grant. I mean, I think he's kind of decent in it.
He's the
somewhat.
one trying the most, like by far. He's trying the most.
And there are some kind of gags in here that were okay. Like I said, I like the funeral scene. I thought that was kind of funny. I'll stand by that. I think that's a little funny.
Stand by wrong. It's fine.
But I mean, it's just painfully unfunny, painfully a waste of time. I mean, some people are saying this is one of the worst films of the decade. Even there, that's how bad it is. I mean, I think it's one of the worst films of this year.
We're almost halfway through the decade, so yeah.
Oh, it is. It's in that conversation for sure.
So
Dick.
yeah, this movie was just released on Netflix. Yeah, it absolutely a waste of time to even see it on Netflix, even see it streaming there.
And yet you didn't give it a waste of fucking film. I would just like to point out.
I gave it a skip it.
Yeah,
That's because I chuckled at a couple scenes. That's why I chuckle at a couple.
I've never been more mad at Josh on a review. Like when he said skip, when he started saying I was like, oh god damn it, you were gonna really get this.
You know, but like I said, I chuckled a couple times, and Hugh Grant was good. I like Hugh Grant in it.
Yeah, fair enough.
He was decent in it. Next film is a film that Nick already mentioned, Tarot. Tarot, one of the other terrible horror movies to come out this year, along with the one that Nick already mentioned. We're starting to get some good ones. You know, it's starting to kind of even out, balance out here. We got Late Night with the Devil. We got Long Legs. So it's starting to a little bit balance out. But Tarot is your conventional horror movie, dumb teenagers. You know, they doing some stupid shit. They get killed. You kind of got that in it, but this time with tarot cards. The only thing good about this movie is the effects with the actual creatures that come to the tarot cards that come to life. I think the makeup and costuming with them is actually really good. I think that's actually one of the best things about the movie is actually do that. Some of the deaths are actually pretty good too. Some of the deaths that they do is actually kind of good. Other than that, I think that you don't have any reason to really care about these characters. They're not interesting. They're dull. They're boring. You know, I don't even remember their names really. I just remember,
Damn.
Jacob. It's Jacob Babylon. Ned Leeds is in it. Somehow he survives at the end, even though it looked like he was gonna be dead for no reason. I thought it was gonna be like a fake out at the end of the movie.
Spoiler.
Then he survives, and I'm like, well, how the hell does that happen? Uh, yeah, this is just
Was it-
there's plenty of
was
other better horror movies to watch.
Was that a Hangman thing they had in the background?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like because that's
oh.
one of the tarot cards. Is like the hangman.
I was like, I thought that was a David Carradine impression they were doing, but I was like, what? No, the too soon for day. God, people work with me.
But like I said, I mean, costuming with the creatures is good, and some of the deaths they do some like the one they do with the chick from Mean Girls. She actually the death with her is actually really good. I like the way they did that.
Yeah, I will give Taro that. The creature design is at least good, and some of the deaths are actually kind of fun and inventive.
Yeah. Another movie Nick already mentioned already. Rebel Moon Part 2. Scargiver here. Zack Snyder's epic Star Wars trilogy that he's doing. They're putting it on Netflix, big book sci-fi epic, a movie that he said if it got released in theaters, it would have made more than Barbie. He said there.
He's a sick man. He's a very sick man.
You know, part 1, we saw the
Sorry. I smell cap.
Right.
Part 1, we saw the formation of the team of the Rebel Alliance. Now we're seeing the backstories. We spend all this time, you know what I mean, getting them together. Now we spend all this time for them to sit around talking about their backstories about why they hate the Empire or whatever the name of the evil organization is here. Again, I forgot. I don't know. I think it's the Empire.
It's fine. It's the Empire.
They're them trying to come to this small little village and take it over. Which doesn't make any sense of why they have all these civilians just hiding in these homes. Like, why not hide on
hiding in the barn where you have one of the freaking 7 samurai fighting inside of.
Yeah, that doesn't make why wouldn't they be hiding on like the people who are not the fighters, like the people like the small children and the women or the old really elderly people. It's like okay, they would hide on the hill or somewhere far away. Where the fighting when it happens, they wouldn't get in the way. But why the hell all these people cramped in a barn where they're trying to do their thing? So it's like I have to worry about you and fight at the same time, which doesn't make sense.
Or pull Magnificent Seven and have them just leave for a day until someone could go, get them. That could be it. Fucking Three Amigos even does that. Like, come on, man. Like, you couldn't.
So yeah, I mean, action isn't good. It's that slow mo shit that he likes to do. Which is tired and it's real no point here. It's just slow mo just for slow mo, not even really for good effect. I think in this. So that's one. Next film for me is another Netflix movie here, and it is the movie starring Millie Bobby Brown. Bobby Brown.
Damsel.
Damsel.
Damn.
Yeah, I heard this is a lot like the movie. Nick, I think you reviewed it for the channel. That movie with the what's that called that you like?
Joey King.
King,
the princess.
Yeah, the princess.
Oh, the princess is way better.
That movie
than this.
fucking rules. Though.
Yeah, no, this is way better than this. Yeah, no.
Okay, so I heard it was. I heard it got compared to that a lot.
No, fuck no.
Okay.
No. No. There are several. The princess though is like an actual like Mortal Kombat tower movie basically, which and there's some great action scenes in there. No, it is much better than this film is. So.
Waste of talent. You see Angela Bassett, Ray Winstone is also in here. That you see, real good waste. I mean, Millie Bobby Brown, she's really talented. I like her Alona Holmes movies. There, I think she's good in that. I like her when she's in Stranger Things. Yeah, I think it's a waste of her, a waste of other good talent in this movie. It's just about her fighting the dragon. She gets trapped in the cave and she has to fight the dragon, and there you go. And the dragon looks cool. The dragon is voiced by I know the voice, the actor.
Benedict Cumberbatch. It's him.
I wish it was, but the dragon is. I mean, that's kind of the only part of it that's good is just she's fighting the dragon there. But the whole kind of story is kind of lame, and what they kind of end up doing is really not that good. In the dragon, when you actually kind of see all of the dragon, the effects aren't really all that good either, really. And that's kind of what makes also the movie also not exciting to watch. But yeah, I mean, this movie, real waste of time, waste of the talent in it. Definitely super forgettable. maybe you'd have a good time watching it just to have something on, maybe, and then just to, like I said with Atlas, like maybe you can watch it while you're doing perfect laundry movie that you're doing, washing dishes, stuff like that,
Damn.
doing laundry, putting something in the clothes there.
Laundry movie shit.
Next one, Nick already mentioned this, Imaginary. Imaginary, I can say at least one good thing about Imaginary.
What
I
number
like
are you on, by the way? Sorry, just for clarification.
this is so I had what 12, so I'm on 6 right now. 6
Okay,
right now.
cool. Just wanted just to catch the audience up, but yeah.
Yeah. So Imaginary right here. So I will say when they go to the imagination land of it, that actually looks, I think, kind of cool. And they actually finally go there at the very end of the movie. I actually think that is good, and I mean, that should have been most of the movie. But I understand this budget was probably like $5, so it's like, okay, we couldn't really do a whole lot of that.
Damn.
But that whole setup of that, and with DeWanda Wise and good waste of talent with her, and with also the concept of it is like, okay, if you could do a lot of these things with imagination of, creatures, you could do some good designs. That also think like maybe it's just you were just restricted by the budget of it. Really tries its hardest to be scary. It's not scary. Does all the conventional horror things without any real impressive execution of it. Really pathetic of a horror movie here. Also one of the shittier horror movies we've gotten this year, along with Night Swim, along with Zorro. I would say, do I like this? I actually like. No, I think Night Swim is the worst one. So it's the worst one.
Nick was like, "What'd you say?"
Yeah, there's at least something cool in Imaginary, and that is Imagination Land.
Yeah. So actually, this one would be my 7th one, and then this one would be my 6th one right here. This movie, which really just went in, and I think it was only in theaters for like a week. It bombed so hard, and that is the American Society of Magical Negroes.
Oh yeah, that you blinked and that was out of theaters. Yeah.
Like they pulled this movie fast. I don't even think it got released on VOD. Did they even release it on VOD? They was like, it's too shitty.
Oh no, it's on VOD. It's streaming.
Yeah, it's on
Peacock.
VOD. It's on Peacock.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, the shittiness has reached Peacock. Okay, so there you go. You can watch it there on Peacock. American Side Magical Negroes. Like when I talked about the review of this, I said like it is trying to execute and do ideas, something that you would see in American Fiction, which came out last year. Something that you'd see in Sorry to Bother You. Elements that you would see in Get Out. They're talking about code switching. Talking about being in a predominantly white environment as the only black person there. Talking about as far as black media goes and black perception, which a lot of American Fiction dealt with there. This does all those things terribly. This is probably one of the worst examples of any of those subjects handled in a movie I've ever seen. Purely there, it's like it's like somebody saw a Key and Peele sketch, took all the wrong ideas from the Key and Peele sketch, put it into a movie, and then executed it, and then this is what you got. You have Justice Smith here, who I like Justice Smith. I mean, I think he can do some good stuff. To me, he's like Black Jay Baruchel. Every one of his movies.
Damn! Wow. Okay, that might be the Josh quote of the year right there. God damn!
It's like it's like he's at his best when he's like gets to play a character that leans into that Black Jay Baruchel. Like he's brilliant in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh man,
it's the same thing. It's the same career path as Jay Baruchel because Jay Baruchel. You see him in every movie.
Shit.
It's all about him. He's trying to like gain self-confidence, and throughout the movie, he gains self-assurance and self-confidence and becomes self-assured. Like that's what his character, Justice Smith, what he did in Dungeons and Dragons. That's what his character did. I see him. I was watching him, and I saw the TV glow, and he was pissing me off there. He's doing the same thing there. Watching that,
he's like mixed Jason Biggs.
He's
pissing me off.
But he doesn't have a man seeking woman, to be fair, which is like a show that gets so weird that it becomes like endearing. I think he kind of needs to go like neon weird. You know what I mean? Like do like an Ingrid Goes West type project. I think he needs something like that at this point. Black Jay Birch, that is, man, that's the Josh quote of the year. Like pin that, people. That's great shit.
Yeah, clip it.
And it has what's that actor's name?
David Alan Grier.
David Alan Grier, who is a legend. David Alan Grier.
Yes,
and
he
I
is.
think he's only the even as shitty as the script is, he's the only slightly kind of bright spot about it. He's kind of working with it, but the concept of this and you're the magical Negro to these white people, and you're going around here like that's your whole job. Like you have magical powers. The only thing you do with it is helping white people. Is like just that whole concept there of the execution of it is just terrible and a terrible idea. Did not like that whatsoever.
Yep.
And I get what the movie's trying to say there about it. And then, like I said, Justice Smith being the type of character that he is, being so just lacking any, what I mean, authoritative nature to him. It's like I think some of these issues could be solved if you just was a little bit more assertive. Like I don't think it's because
he's a pussy. Just call it what it is, man.
Oh,
He's a pussy in that movie. Yeah. Like don't like stop dancing around it, man. You just called him Black Jay Burchell. Call it what it is. He's a fucking pussy in the movie.
Yeah.
Like
he's Hiccup in the first How to Train Your Dragon, basically, and that's kind of what it is.
basically.
I mean, yeah,
He's,
it's like,
he's Hiccup before the glow up.
yeah. And I get it, him being that, but that's like I think some of these issues could be solved if you just were just a tad bit more, kind of just more assertive there. But yeah, another movie I got on my list. This is number 5. It is a movie that I don't think Nick or Hunter didn't see. This was also came out early in the year. It was Miller's Girl. This was the movie with Jenna Ortega.
Oh, I saw Miller's Girl.
Oh, you saw?
I saw it. Yeah. It's on my list.
It's like you got to do something special to make an erotic thriller that is neither thrilling nor erotic.
I mean, exactly. I mean, the whole concept is that you have the teacher and Martin Freeman, and he's the mentor to this young girl, of Jenna Ortega, in high school, and it's trying to play with that kind of thing, like you said, erotic thriller. Is this guy really going to risk everything to hook up with young Jenna Ortega? You see at home his wife treats him like shit, and just embarrasses him and belittles him.
Bitch to him, and that like that's probably the scariest thing is how much of a bitch she is to him and how he puts up with it.
And I forgot what she was in. She was in. Damn,
she was the mom in Bottom. She was also in Succession.
Succession, yeah, she was the assistant. Yeah, she was like the press person, and Succession there. And she's great in that. She's great in that. But yeah, she just totally just like breaks his balls every chance she gets. Just totally knocks him down. She's like the big writer, and he's just it's like, oh, you're just a teacher. You know what I mean? You wrote that one book that nobody gives a fuck about.
You would smother her with a pillow at some point because like you could not put up with that shit for like a decade and not be fucking someone else or kill her because yeah, she's terrible in that fucking movie.
At that it came to a point that I'm surprised that Miller's Girl didn't turn into gender swapped Gone Girl.
And the whole kind of thing of like, oh, is he really gonna do it? It's like, no, Martin Freeman ain't really gonna fuck Jenna Ortega. Like, there's no point in this movie where you actually think that's actually really gonna happen, just because of how lame this dude is, or how kind of lame and tame that they kind of played. If you are gonna do this, why not go for it and really do it? And the only time it gets kind of interesting is when the movie, like, it cuts off, like when she's really about to enact her whole plan and really doing it. Then the movie go like, oh, well, that's it. And I'm like, well, what the hell was all this thing? We just get into the actual juicy part of it, and it just shuts off there.
Her plan is fucked, by the way. Like when they reveal what's going on, you're like, wow, really? Like it, yeah. That there is not enough shit being talked about that. Like how genuinely vindictive her plan is, and how it's like, but he's a high schooler, waka waka. Yeah, fuck her for that. Sorry.
Yeah. Only decent thing. I like his friend. He's got a good black friend in this, and he wears a lot of good outfits.
And that's Bashira Salahuddin, who was in Top Gun Maverick as one of the few persons of color in that movie who got dialogue, and he was also in Serrano. He's on the Minji Project, Glow, Blackish, Southside.
I will say I thought Gideon Adlon, who's in this movie, who sup girl, by the way, who's Jenna Ortega's friend in the movie. She's actually the one, like the high school girl who has some sense and realizes how crazy Jenna Ortega is and is like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And the movie does, like, she's doing more of that character than the script allows her to do, is how I would put it. But
She kind of looks like
Um,
the girl from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
she kind of
One
does.
from,
She kind of looks like a young Pamela Alden.
oh,
Or
okay, I kind of see that.
yeah, that's what I always see. Which still Pamela Adlon's sub girl to YouTube, but
Yeah, and
but
that's her mom.
Oh, oh, that's her
yeah.
mom.
Oh,
Is that the
that's
Yeah,
her
girl?
Pamela
mom.
Alden's her mom. Nepo baby, baby.
Wait, really? Oh shit,
Yeah.
it is her. Okay. That makes a
Oh,
ton. You know what? I had a thought. I'm not even gonna say it on the mic. Never mind. And she's actually really good in Blockers too, because Blockers
yeah.
is a very underrated
Oh,
comedy.
that movie's
but-
awesome. I love it.
But yeah, man, like Josh is not Whistle and Dixie. Miller's Girl is fucking terrible.
And my number 4 movie is Tyler Perry's Mia Copa. Mia Copa. I almost struggled to put this on.
I mean, the second you say Tyler Perry and worst of, it's like it's a given at this point.
yeah,
My
I was
spider sense
struggling
tingled.
to put this on the list because I'm like, I mean, it's terrible, but I had a lot of fun watching it. I gotta admit, I mean, I had a great time. It was entertaining. You can say a lot about Tyler Perry movies. They're never boring. You always like where it goes and what happens is always kind of interesting.
I mean, to this day, freaking Temptation is one of my favorite movies to watch.
Temptation's so bad. Oh my
but
god.
it's awesome.
Should be called Lack of Subtlety. That movie is just ridiculous. Red convertible, like the devil. Do you get it? Do you get it, people? Do you get the metaphor?
It's like
Trevante Rhodes. I don't know. I mean, it's just like
Ugh,
I guess just,
come
he
on,
got
man. You're too
tired.
talented for this.
You
Yeah,
are,
Moonlight,
brother. Come on.
fantastic in Moonlight. Loved him in that. Barry Jenkins, please save him. Please save
One
him.
of the few good parts of Shane Black's Predators.
Yeah. Give him the Green Lantern ring, James Gunn. Come on, man. There's your Jon Stewart right there. He could nail that shit.
Because he just could care less in this movie. Honestly, I mean, he's mumbling all the way through it. He looks disinterested.
This
he looks half
is-
asleep.
This is clearly a one for them, one for me kind of role. It's like this is the one for them.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, hopefully, he got paid well for this and got a good check.
It's Tyler Perry. He
Yeah.
can't even pay for a stunt coordinator. You think he's paying his actors?
You can't, man. Like, this movie's really bad.
Kelly Rowland, gorgeous woman, Kelly Rowland. Gorgeous
Kelly
woman.
Rowland, a gorgeous woman. I still have a crush on her from Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah. And her
She's
outfits
fun
are
in
really, really good in this movie. I will say that her the way they dress her up in the movie costume for her is really great. I think a lot of
her wardrobe is on point. That's one of the few things I will give this movie. Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I mean, the ending of this is absolutely batshit insane and must be seen. If you can sit through this movie and get to the ending, it has to be seen.
The ending literally ends with Isaac Hayes' walk on by while she walks away from the main character. And I just went, fuck off. Like, it is. Yeah. It's not good.
A movie that my next one here is number 2, a movie that Nick already mentioned, Night Swim. Damn.
Yeah, that's number 2. I can't wait to see what number 1 is.
I'm curious. Damn.
Night Swim. Yeah, I mean, this is, like I said, probably the worst horror movie of the year so far in its attempt there. I mean, I appreciate it. You try to do a haunted swimming pool. I mean, who's done a haunted swimming pool movie before?
The big problem with this movie is that this is based on a short film. And that short film got across everything that this movie tried to do in a compressed package. It's like they tried to, do the worst thing you can do with a very simple concept like this and really delve into the mythology of it, overcomplicate the narrative. And it's like, no, this works purely as a short film.
Yeah. Well, sometimes that does work. I mean, they did it with Lights Out, and then that got turned into a short film, and then and that got turned into a movie, and it worked out well. This one, it's just absolutely toothless. Trying to do the haunted swimming pool, the rules of this swimming pool, the way it works, how it haunts people, and how it can stay with people. That shit didn't make any sense at all. Even in a horror movie, like you don't even I don't even understand how your logic works here. With how everything kind of happens. Yeah, I mean, this is just absolutely a waste of time to actually go see it. And everything terrible about horror movies. So getting to my number 1 film of the year as far as terribleness, goes, I don't know. Maybe I feel like I'm doing too much with this movie. It's possible. As much as the movie got beat up on in the year, but it is going to be Madam Web. Madam Web.
I knew it. I knew it.
Madam Web here. Her web connects us all. There. I mean, what can be said about this movie that hasn't been said already?
The only reason that this movie isn't on my worst of list is because I knew this shit was going to be fucking ass.
I mean, the way that they're trying to force these movies, these origin villain movies or origin Spider-Man character movies, and this is kind of one of the worst examples of that. Cast has no chemistry, dialogue is terrible. The costuming, well, actually, the costume actually is kind of decent. I actually thought the way they when they showed them in their
the costume that you see for like 5 seconds of the movie,
actually looks kind of good. I actually think, you know what I mean. Actually, seeing them in the costume,
like you had the ultimate recipe to at least like make this movie watchable. Is like have the focus a little bit more on the younger cast and them being Spider Women, but no, can't do that.
I mean, this is a CW project that got blown up and then
it so is. Yeah.
I mean, what they
this is like giving heavy Gotham Knights vibes.
It's very Batwoman-esque is what I'll say. As someone who actually
I'm surprised that the song in the trailer wasn't that one from Batwoman.
I should have been Who Run the World. That's what I was expecting. like you know how you do those like dark remixes, like slow it down. Like
Who run the world?
girls.
But that was my worst of there. So
like the hilarious thing, you got friggin' Emma Roberts, who the only time I have ever liked her in a movie was Scream 4.
Same.
And her complaining is like, it's internet culture that turned the movie into a meme. It's why it didn't do well. It's like, you saw the movie, right? You've worked with Ryan Murphy enough to know bullshit when you see it. So
maybe she doesn't. Maybe that's why she keeps working with him. Yeah.
All right, Hunter.
If anything, Emma Roberts does know it's a hit, but I digress. Yeah. So I'll be kind of quick on this. Number 12, Miller's Girl. Yeah, just sexless, aimless. It's basically The Boy Next Door, but with
way less sex and way less like explicitly trying to dance around to give every excuse to the lead character not being a pedophile.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you're gonna do this,
the Boy Next Door is hilarious because they spend so much time. It's like, yeah, he's 19, he got held back a while.
Exactly. So like if you're gonna do this movie, fucking do this movie. Like you know what I mean? But yeah, Jenna Ortega also. She's 21. She's like kind of like in that Selena Gomez Spring Breakers age where I'm just like, I can't find you like hot really right now. Like you're still too young.
It's like, give her a couple of years, give her freaking Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah, like now, when she gets 25, we might be having a different conversation. but yeah, just not good.
And it was disappointing because I know the kind of actress that Jenna Ortega is. Seeing her on You, seeing her in X, the Scream films, which she is fantastic.
This feels beneath her, honestly.
This felt like I'm trying to buy a house and I need to pay a mortgage.
Yeah, it just wasn't great. So all right. Tied for my number 10 because they're both bad. Argyle and Madam Web. They're both shit. They've already talked about it. No reason to watch either film. They do nothing for you. Covering up Sydney Sweeney in Madam Web was a crime. There's a good someone like Nia DaCosta could make something like that work. Like there's a germ of a good idea in there. Granted, Sony won't do a Silk film, which would be the female character to do if they actually read Spider-Man. But yeah, there's no reason to watch either film. They're both shit.
Aren't they talking about doing like a live action show or something with Silk? Or
No,
I think it got canceled.
canned.
Yeah, that got
okay.
canned. Yeah, so it's just Sony. Anyways, number 9. This is probably the one that hurts me the most because I saw the trailer. I was so excited for it. It's Drive Away Dolls. I wanted it to be great. I wanted it so badly to be great. And I'm such a Coen fan. And this shit just broke my heart with how lazy the writing is and how really uninspired the film is. Look, Margaret Qualley, sup girl.
Best Nepo baby working in Hollywood today.
Yeah, and Geraldine Viswanathan.
And I was about to say, also sup girl. And there are these moments, these little moments where you feel like there's a little chemistry between them, but the dialogue is so bad it doesn't allow them to shine, and it's so frustrating. Coleman Domingo has a couple of moments where he's actually terrifying, and that's about the only thing that works. Along with a cameo by Matt Damon, which I think would fit way closer to real life than it probably should. But yeah, it's disappointing is putting it mildly. Something I'll never watch again, and quite frankly, disappointing. So yeah, that's my number 9. Josh already brought it up. My number 8, The American Society of Magical Negroes. My review on Letterboxd is I don't think I've logged. I think I did log it, but my review is simply 2 words: Negro, please. This is a fucking terrible movie. I don't understand. Yep, there you go. Negro, please. Learn how to write a better script. I don't know what the fuck happened on this movie. I think Josh, you kind of put it perfectly. It's like they watched Jordan Peele's Key & Peele sketch and took away all the wrong lessons. There's no point while I was rooting for Black Jay Baruchel. I was so mad at just how flippant he was and how you see him he's acting better alongside fucking CGI Pokemon than he is in this fucking movie. Like, dude, what are you doing? God, it's such a frustrating movie. And David Alan Grier, he is a fucking legend. And it was such a bummer seeing this because he should be a bigger deal than he is, quite frankly, because he has amazing comedic timing. But oh my god, yeah, this movie's shit. Don't watch it. There's nothing here for you. That's my number 8. My number 7, I think it's an AI script or AI significantly helped in it. It's Kevin Hart's Lift. Kevin Hart is not an action star. I don't know why he's trying to be. I don't know what this new career shift is. I don't know if people are starting to realize that he's really not that funny. But yeah, this shit is just, it's trifling. There's nothing about it that warrants being a movie, let alone a film that's over 2 fucking hours. And I hate to say this too, because I'm such a fan of him as a director, but man, F. Gary Gray, dude, you gotta start reading these goddamn scripts or getting something in your contract that they're not gonna fuck you, because between this, Fate and the Furious, and Men in Black International, man, that's 3 just
it's
stinkers.
It's like he's one of my favorite directors, and I look at those 3 films as like, the fuck happened to you, man?
Yeah, like it's getting to a point, dude, where it's like, god damn, dude, you gotta start reading these contracts closer.
You got Billy Magnuson looking bad in this movie.
Yeah, and man, I feel like Vincent D'Onofrio, like my big theory is that in order for Netflix to like break their whole contract with Disney, is that they told Vincent D'Onofrio, you have to do 1 movie for us, and he was like, god damn it, it's Lift. Like that's my theory, because D'Onofrio just looks like he does not want to fucking be here. He's so ready.
Him in the trailer. Is he in the trailer?
Oh yeah. He was in the he had the whole beard part. But yeah, Kevin Hart trying to be an action star, considering he has that whole Die Hard parody show, it's just so like, come on, y'all. You know he should be an action star. Like give me a fucking break. Melissa McCarthy in Spy is a more convincing action star than Kevin Hart is in this series.
So,
Serious action
is
film.
Lift like an action comedy thing? So is he trying to do like Beverly Hills Cop, or is he trying to do something like
He's
that?
trying to basically do. It's kind of like he's trying to do Plane, like that Idris Elba show. Like he's trying to do that basically.
Oh,
Or
okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Playing the Gerard Butler movie.
With Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or fuck, Nonstop. That's what I was trying to think of. Like the
Okay.
Liam Neeson film. He's trying to do something in that ilk, and it just doesn't fucking work at all. So yes, Netflix. Kevin Hart is not an action star. Stop trying to make it a thing. Stop.
I mean, there's a world where Kevin Hart could be an action star. I mean, the guy works at it. He's like very in shape. He's in better shape than I will ever be. He went on a like big boxing kick where he like trained really hard. He like got in the gym in Mayweather's gym. But too many you've joked around too much about how short you are to convince us that you can be an action star.
Yeah, the thing about Kevin Hart is there is a world where he can be an action star, and that's where he is in his room playing with his figurines. I don't need to see that shit on the fucking movie screen.
Or if it's a character that leans into kind of that underdog. It's like, yeah, this guy is like tiny, but that's kind of like the fun of it. It's like seeing this guy who is an underdog overcome these odds.
The closest
but the egos get in the fucking way of that.
The closest he should be to an action star is that cameo in Hobbs and Shaw. That's the closest he should be to an action star. I don't need to see this shit. Or
what about the Central Intelligence? You know,
fuck that movie.
I repeat my prior statement. Yeah, no, I don't.
I like Central Intelligence.
I don't like it's. Yeah. I know, buddy. I'm almost done. I know my cat's yelling at me. All right, number 6. One of my biggest pet peeves besides bad comic book films are bad kids films. Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. Holy fucking shit. Peacock.
Oh my god, what the fuck happened to the animation?
Exactly. So that's the first issue. And that's before we get to his new girl sidekick who is never in school and apparently doesn't have parents. Apparently
you mean never in school?
Yeah, and they make that joke over and over again. So there's that. By the way, the Doom Syndicate never fucking mentioned the first film. Never even mentioned that he worked with another team, but of course they reverse that shit here. They go ahead and have a fight between him and Minion, even though they went ahead and had that whole like, hey, like you're my equal speech at the end of the first fucking one. Oh, and did I forget to mention that this movie takes place 2 days after the events of the first film, which basically negates the first film fucking entirely. This shit sucks. There's no reason to watch it. And even funnier, it ties into a new Peacock TV show of Megamind, which I was like, oh, that's why you made this, to promote your TV show, which apparently fucking sucks. Yeah, if you put this on for your kids, you hate your kids. This shit is trifling, man. Like no reason to watch it. And I actually watched the first Megamind because I don't think I'd ever seen it.
Megamind is fucking awesome.
I had a lot of fun with it.
I love that movie so much.
Like I'd seen clips of it on TBS here and there, but I don't ever recall sitting down and actually watching it. So I watched it Thursday, and oh my god, what a great film. And then to see the sequel, just absolute shit. Don't watch it. All right, moving on to number 5. Josh talked about it. Cooney McCoon, Tyler Perry's mea culpa. I'm so sick of this nigga. Like this dude just the bane of his existence. Like, man, the day he dies, I'm gonna fucking cheer. I'm so over Tyler Perry. I'm so over this bullshit.
You're gonna crip walk all over his grave.
I am, man. I am over this dude, man. Like
you're gonna crip walk all over his grave to Euphoria by Kendrick.
Like the fact that he's over 20 films in and he cannot write dialogue. I don't understand it. Like, you would think being in Hollywood this long, you would improve, and it's like he's legitimately actively going out of his way to not get better, which is what is so frustrating about it. Kelly Rowland,
because with him, there's no incentive to get better. It's like he can
also
just
true.
slap his name on something, and people will watch it. People will see it.
Yeah, and so I I had this black woman on Twitter block me because I flat out told Tyler, I tweeted at Tyler Perry, "You're a piece of shit and you're lazy," and she was like, "What would you expect him to do?" And I was like, he could hire a black writer. He hasn't done that yet. Like, he has not directed another person's script, and at this point, he needs a reset. Like, he needs artistically to let someone else direct or get a script from someone else, because this shit is just not fucking working.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the quantity over quality. That approach is like bane of his existence.
Yeah, and you know what? It's amazing that Netflix would cancel The Brother's Son, but they give Tyler Perry money to keep making movies. So yeah, fuck you, Netflix, for that shit. That decision, terrible.
I'm still mad about Santa Clarita Diet.
And that is also fair. That was a great show. Moving on to number 4. It's one that Nick mentioned. Despicable Me 4. Man, they need to not make these anymore. I'm done, y'all. Like, I thought 3 was okay, and I really enjoyed the first 2. I actually think the second one's better than the first one. The El Macho character, Benjamin Bratt, actually voice acted the shit out of that. That's a really fun movie. And it's so weird how the second one does to the minions what this one does, because El Macho turns all the minions like evil into zombies, which is actually kind of scary and actually worked. and yet the anti-venom anti-villain league, who was very aware of the fact they were turning into zombies, went, let's give these fucking buffoons superpowers and nothing will go wrong. It's like, great, morons. The minions sadly are like the few laughs I got out of this. There's like 2 laughs I got. There's a soda bomb vending machine gag that I did actually laugh at.
That got me.
That did get me. And then like this popcorn one was actually pretty funny. But I think I got maybe 4 laughs in 90 minutes. That is not fucking enough. And then the only emotional beat that I actually felt is when I think it's the one little girl, I think it's Agnes, is reunited with her like unicorn lamb thing. That was like the one thing I actually kind of went, oh, that's kind of cute. Outside of that, man, Steve Carell. There's another timeline where Steve Carell wins an Oscar and actually cares about his movie choices and doesn't do Welcome to Marwin in 4 of these fucking movies. But yeah, don't watch this. It'll be on Peacock soon. If your kids really need to see it, just
watch
wait.
Minions: Rise of Gru instead. That movie's actually funny.
Yeah, honestly. All right, number 3. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. Zack Snyder, Rebel Moon, The Scar Giver. Man. You know, I'm really happy for all you Snyder stans who've been trying to defend this motherfucker and his work, and to see how Rebel Moon was like out of Netflix top 10 like 10 days in, and Axel Foley is still like the number 1 film. Like, like, it's great to see the humbling and people going like, maybe Snyder's films aren't that good. It's like, yeah, because they're not that good. And this shit, who was the girl who well, I think she was Japanese. Her origin story is such a like blink and you miss it, but all the white people get several minutes to tell their story. It's like, no, not you. Like, your time is cut in half. It's fucking
literally
ridiculous. Yeah, literally. Yeah, also literally.
They gave her the fucking Oscar play 'em off music.
Yeah, it's, oh my god, the movie, it's lame, it's frustrating. Action wise, there's nothing that's inspired. It just feels like Snyder's spinning his wheels at this point. It really makes me think of when Wes Anderson did Fantastic Mr. Fox. Like, Snyder maybe needs to go back to animation because that's the last time I liked something that he actually did. Like maybe the live action medium right now, he just isn't inspired in it anymore. But yeah, he's got to do something else because Army of the Dead. Oh, we're gonna turn this into a franchise. Oh, Netflix. No, we're not. Rebel Moon. We're gonna go and do more of these. Netflix has been
granted with Army of the Dead. I actually legitimately like Army of Thieves.
I like Army of Thieves. Like now, Army of the Dead was one of my worst stuff. I think Army of Thieves is but there was no part of me that was like, oh, you need to build a universe out of this. And it's the same thing here. Like, not everything needs to be a goddamn universe. Like, you could do 2 or 3 movies and call it good, but hopefully you don't get a third one of these because there's
we're getting 4 if you count the 5-hour director's cuts.
Yeah, which I'm not putting myself through that shit. And also the fact that this ending all means nothing because the queen who's supposedly dead is like, oh, I'm alive. How's she alive? Turn in next time. It's like, nope, fuck you. You're not getting me again.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So number 3, Rebel Moon. Number 2, and I just finished this about 3 hours ago. Cooney McCoon again. Tyler Perry's Divorce in the Black. God damn it. Megan Good being in a film about where her husband is abusive when you're dating Jonathan Majors, considering what he was accused of. I'm sorry, what he was convicted of. That is true, convicted of. I've talked about the case. I've given my thoughts on it. I think there's more than meets the eye, but that's a whole other thing. Anyone in basic PR, anyone in basic PR would tell you the optics of that are fucking terrible, and yet he cast Megan Good in this movie. He flat out says, "Bitch, I will drag you by your fucking hair out of this truck," and she stays with him for months. And they cut to her wedding video. His mom literally knocks the bouquet out of her hands, and his family laughs, and she married him. And it is my biggest.
Oh wow, the light skinned guy got the
yep. And of course he's this. Of course he's this country nigga. Oh, I don't need money when I've got Jesus. It's just like God Almighty. Like it's so tired at this point, and I'm done. I'm so done with Tyler Perry. And the thing that's so frustrating, I was telling Nick this movie at multiple points goes, you are not a good Christian woman if you don't stick by your man. And that is the most infuriating thing about that, because it is sending such a bad message to not just to Black women, but to women in general that, hey, if your husband abuses you, maybe it's because God wants him to. And maybe you should go and just pray it away.
So what you're saying is this is going to be Harrison Butker's favorite movie of the year.
Basically, yeah. It's just like, man, if like maybe she had scrubbed that one spot on the counter, maybe he wouldn't have hit her. It's such shit, and it's so frustrating. Yeah, fuck this movie. Fuck Tyler Perry. I hate the way you walk, the way that you direct. I hate the way you pick out wigs. I hate everything about you. And I'm so over him. And I will say what I've been saying for years. It is ridiculous that Jordan Peele has directed 4 films and has shown improvement in each one. Tyler Perry has directed almost 30 and continues to just jog in place. It is goddamn ridiculous, and I'd call him a coon to his face. If I ever meet him, I'm going to tell him. I was like,
do it. And book a flight to Atlanta and fucking do it.
I'll try to get an interview, man.
Like, oh man, if he agreed to an interview, I dare him to. You know what, Tyler Perry, I dare you to come on The Real Pineapple and answer questions for me, because I will not be Oprahing this shit. I will actually ask you questions that you will have to answer. And I'm also Oprah. Fuck you too for giving him and Dr. Oz a fucking platform, and Dr. Phil.
Well, yeah,
fucking skinny fat bitch. Anyways, on to my last film. Oh, God, I'm just all mad thinking about Tyler Perry now. It's Unfrosted. I've been hearing for years. Seinfeld, one of the best comedians to ever pick up a mic. He's definitely not one of the best comedians to direct a film, because this shit is fucking terrible. Oh, hey, do you want to see a movie that is absolutely uninspired and has no good jokes? put on Unfrosted. Oh, hey, do you want to see a movie where Jim Gaffigan and Amy Schumer try to seduce each other? Go ahead and put on Unfrosted. Oh, hey, do you want to see a movie where there's a mutant ravioli filled with sea monkeys that becomes alive and runs around? Put on Unfrosted. This shit sucks so bad. And the amount of people who are trying to go like, you don't get absurdist comedy. I'm sorry. We were just talking. Nick was just on The Real Pineapple talking about Hot Rod. Hot Rod's fucking great. I'm sorry. We mentioned Walk Hard earlier. Walk Hard is fucking amazing. You can fucking Chippendale Rescue Rangers that Mulaney and Sandberg just did like 2 years ago. You can do absurdist comedy. I'm very aware of how absurdist comedy works, but just because that's like saying that's like Patty Jenkins going, well, I was trying to go ahead and make Wonder Woman 84 in like that silver age of comics. It's like, yeah, and I could take a shit on a canvas and say I was going for a fucking Picasso. It doesn't mean anything if you can't fucking execute. And this shit is terrible. There are kids eating Rice Krispie treats out of the dumpster. And they go, what if we put Rice Krispie treats and marshmallows together? There is a point where Jerry Seinfeld drinks this concoction that Melissa McCarthy created, and he goes, "Oh, this has quite the tang to it. Get it? Because it's tang. That's gonna be the drink that's made. Waka waka." And they do that joke like 5 fucking times in the movie.
There's the Vietnam joke.
There's that one.
Don't they do a JFK gets shot joke? Don't they do that too?
They do. Yeah, they do a JFK assassination. They do a Grassy Knoll joke, and they do a January.
Yeah, if I wasn't barefoot in my office, I'd break this fucking bottle over my head.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. It is one of the worst comedy. Like, when I think about worst comedies, I think of like stuff like Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star, and like Pixels, the Wrong Missy, what else? Freddy
Halloween.
Freddy Got Fingered. I think about stuff like that. And this is right up there. Like, when I think about bad comedy, like it's in my, like, it's close to Bucky Larson. Like, I hated Bucky Larson. That's my boy. Yeah, that's up there too.
I hate almost 95% of That's My Boy. The fucking like twist of like what his fiance does that got me.
Yeah, that's like one thing. But dude, it's oh man, Unfrosted is so bad, y'all. And it really just shows how great Curb Your Enthusiasm is and how great of a writer Larry David is, because you compare Curb to Seinfeld and it's like, oh, this is a show that people have been telling me for years that it is, versus what the actual, content shows me. So yeah, Unfrosted, Jerry Seinfeld. For him to come out too and be like, oh, wokeism has killed comedy, and this is what you put out, it's like, wow, maybe you just fucking suck at writing. And B movie, the fact this is worse than B movie is like horribly impressive, because B movie sucks too. Yeah, fuck you, Seinfeld, and fucking Frosted. Movie sucks.
That was our worst of,
like, nothing, no notes. That's all I got.
No notes. I got nothing.
2024 so far. At the end of, well, actually January we'll come back and do a official list there of worst of 2024 when it comes in 2025. Man, this year went by. It's going by fast, man. Already.
It is.
7 months.
August.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll still be here, not be on boats going to another country soon in 2025.
Dude, don't do that. Don't put that shit in the universe. Come on, man. Like, optimism, people. Optimism. But yeah, man. Like, there's so much good. Like, watch Ultraman Rising on Netflix. That's awesome. Watch that. Don't watch Unfrosted.
I saw that.
Like,
your recommendation, and I enjoyed it. That's pretty good.
Yeah. It's great shit. But Unfrosted is. Watch the Hugh Grant clips if you really want to watch something. There's like 5 minutes worth of clips from Hugh Grant that'll probably make you like at least chuckle.
Is that on YouTube? Let me see if there's any.
I mean, you could probably find like a compilation, I would imagine. But anytime Seinfeld is like acting, and he's like in every scene too, it's like
Yeah.
It would be like watching Amy Schumer trying to do like Macbeth, and you're just like,
Ooh.
man, you were just not equipped for this shit. And like, oh man, like it's. Oh yeah, I will give the movie this. I did think Max Greenfield. I thought some of his physical guy, like he's trying so goddamn hard in this movie, like against all odds, he's trying so hard. But yeah, that movie gives him nothing. But yeah, there's other stuff on Netflix to watch. Just don't watch Unfrosted.
Well, thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you.
Joining me on this late night.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll be back next week doing best of. Get some positivity. Best of 2024 so far of the year there.